The ballroom lights shimmered with nostalgia on Monday night as Dancing with the Stars fans witnessed a moment they never thought they'd see again: Tom Bergeron back behind the judges' table. After 5 years away from the show he helped define, Bergeron returned not as host, but as a guest judge, and in true Tom fashion, he left the night with humor, grace, and one final heartfelt message that fans are calling his perfect goodbye. The return everyone was waiting for. When DWTS announced Tom Bergeron's one-night return to the ballroom, fans erupted with excitement. The beloved TV personality, who hosted the series from its debut in 2005 until 2019, had been absent ever since his controversial departure, a move that stunned the show's longtime viewers. Bergeron, 69, made his highly anticipated comeback during this week's live episode, stepping in as a guest judge alongside Derek Hough, Carrie Ann Inaba, and Bruno Tonioli. From the moment he walked onto the stage, the crowd gave him a standing ovation that lasted nearly a full minute. "Welcome home, Tom," host Julianne Hough exclaimed, visibly emotional as she introduced him. Bergeron, with his trademark wit, quipped, "I had to come back. I left my dignity somewhere in the rafters." But behind the humor was something deeper, a sense of closure. 5 years since the controversial exit. In 2020, ABC and DWTS parted ways with Bergeron and his longtime co-host Erin Andrews, replacing them with Tyra Banks in what producers called an effort to evolve the show. The move sparked backlash among fans who felt Bergeron was the heart of the franchise. At the time, Bergeron hinted that creative differences led to his exit. He later revealed that the producers' decision to cast a polarizing political figure as a contestant had clashed with his vision for the show. "My goal was always to make the show a celebration, a fun escape from the daily noise of politics," he said in past interviews. "When that changed, I knew it was time to go." Still, despite the abrupt ending, Bergeron remained diplomatic over the years, often poking gentle fun at the show on social media while cheering for the dancers and crew behind the scenes. An emotional reunion with familiar faces. During Monday's live episode, the nostalgia was undeniable. Bergeron reunited with many members of the DWTS family, including pros like Cheryl Burke, Derek Hough, and Val Schmerkovsky, who all looked thrilled to have him back in the ballroom. Before the show began, Bergeron shared a heartfelt post on Instagram. "Heading to the ballroom one last time. Grateful for every memory, every laugh, and every step along the way. Let's dance." As he took his seat at the judges' table, he immediately slipped back into his old rhythm, effortlessly blending humor with sharp critique. At one point, after a particularly dramatic paso doble, he joked, "You know, if I had $1 for every time Bruno fell out of his chair, I could buy ABC by now." The audience roared with laughter, a reminder of the effortless charm that made him such a beloved figure on live TV. His final message to ABC. As the night drew to a close, and before the final scores were tallied, host Julianne Hough asked Bergeron if he wanted to share any final words. What followed was both classy and cutting, a message that perfectly encapsulated his time with the network. Bergeron looked around the ballroom, smiled warmly at the crowd, and said, "I just want to say, this show has always been bigger than any one of us. It's about the dancers, the music, the fans, and the joy it brings. I may not have agreed with every decision made along the way," he paused as the crowd laughed knowingly, "but I'm grateful for every moment I got to spend here. So too, everyone at ABC, take care of this dance floor. It's sacred to a lot of people." The audience erupted in applause. Many fans on social media later described it as his mic drop moment. Fans flood social media with love. Within minutes of his appearance, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were overflowing with tributes to Bergeron. One fan tweeted, "Tom Bergeron brought the heart back to DWTS for one night. The show hasn't felt that magical in years." Another wrote, "His final message to ABC was pure class, gracious, funny, and honest. That's the Tom we love." Clips of his comments quickly went viral, garnering millions of views. Fans begged producers to bring him back permanently, with hashtags like #BringBackBergeron and #DWTSLegend trending throughout the night. Even former contestants chimed in. Bachelorette star Caitlin Bristow wrote, "He's still the best in the biz. Watching him tonight made me tear up." Julianne Hough's emotional tribute. Host Julianne Hough, who co-hosts the show alongside Alfonso Ribeiro, became visibly emotional as she thanked Bergeron live on air. "Tom, you taught all of us what it means to lead with kindness, professionalism, and humor," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "It's an honor to share this moment with you. Bergeron replied warmly, "You're doing great, Julien. Keep the sparkle alive." It was a touching exchange, a symbolic passing of the torch between two generations of DWTS hosts. Behind-the-scenes reactions. According to reports from audience members and insiders, the mood backstage was equally emotional. Crew members who had worked with Bergeron for years reportedly gave him a standing ovation as he left the set. One production source told Entertainment Weekly, "Everyone felt it. He wasn't just a host, he was the glue that held the show together." Seeing him back reminded us of what made this series so special. Bergeron was also seen sharing hugs with several of the professional dancers and chatting with producers before leaving the building. Despite lingering tension from his exit years ago, sources say the reunion was warm and respectful. Why his legacy still matters. Tom Bergeron's influence on Dancing with the Stars is undeniable. Over 28 seasons and more than 400 live episodes, he helped turn a quirky celebrity dance show into one of television's most beloved franchises. His quick wit, calm demeanor, and ability to roll with unpredictable live moments, from wardrobe malfunctions to on-air fumbles, earned him multiple Emmy nominations and legions of loyal fans. Even after his departure, many viewers have argued that the show never fully recovered its signature warmth or rhythm. Bergeron's presence reminded audiences what they'd been missing, not just a host, but a heart. What's next for Tom Bergeron? Although he's made it clear he won't return to DWTS full-time, Bergeron isn't slowing down. In recent interviews, he's hinted at upcoming creative projects, possibly including a new talk show and a podcast exploring the joy of unscripted television done right. "I'm not looking back with bitterness," he told Variety earlier this year. "I had a wonderful run. But there's always something new to dance toward. The end of an era, and a perfect goodbye." As the closing credits rolled on Monday night, Bergeron stood one last time, waved to the cheering crowd, and said, "Thanks for the memories, folks. Keep dancing." It was a simple farewell, but to millions of viewers who grew up watching him, it felt like the final bow of a television legend. Whether or not he ever returns again, Tom Bergeron's legacy on Dancing with the Stars remains unshakable. His humor, humility, and humanity shaped the show for over a decade, and his final message to ABC was a reminder of what made him great: grace under spotlight.